Hello students, now I want to discuss the topic length of the curve. In many of the competitive exams, a question is asked on this topic. Find the length of the curve. Sometimes the equation is given in Cartesian form, means the curve is given by Cartesian equation. Sometimes the curve is given by parametric equation. Sometimes it is given by polar equation. I am going to discuss all the three types one after another. Now let us get the length of the curve when the curve is given by Cartesian equation. Means Cartesian equation means either y is equal to f of x or x is equal to f of y. The Cartesian equation may be of any of these two types. Now, in order to explain it, what I am doing is that I am considering x and y axis. So let it be x axis, let it be y axis, and the curve is like this. And let this point A is AC and this point B is BD. And let it is required to get the length of this curve AB. In order to get the length of this entire curve AB, I am going to use the integration, and in order to use the integration, what I am doing is that I am considering an elemental length of this curve. Let us consider 2 points P and Q which are very close to one another, and let the length of this elemental part of the curve is ds. Now in order to get the entire length, I will get the elemental length ds first, and then I will integrate it to get the required length. So let it be ds. Now draw a vertical line through this point Q, draw a horizontal line through P, and let the two intersect over here. So this vertical distance I am naming it as dy, this horizontal distance let it be dx. Now from this triangle, now even though it is a curved length, as P and Q are very close to one another, this curved length can be considered as a straight length, and therefore using Pythagoras theorem I can write ds square is equal to dx square plus dy square, and therefore ds is equal to root of dx square plus dy square. Let it be equation number 1. Now therefore I am writing the equation like this. This equation can be written like this: root of 1 plus dy by dx square into dx. I have just brought this dx outside the square root. Now and therefore length of curve AB is nothing but integration of ds in limits. As I am integrating it with respect to x, I will have to put the limits for x, and which will be a for point A and b for point B, because A and B are the abscissa of these 2 points. So a to b of ds is equal to integration a to b of ds can be substituted as root of 1 plus dy by dx square into dx. So this becomes the formula for the length of the curve. Now this formula can be used when the curve is given by this equation y is equal to f of x. But if the curve is given by this another equation x is equal to f of y, we will have to adopt the similar procedure. But the only thing which we will have to do is that now equation 1 is known to us. Here we have brought dx outside the square root. Now if I bring out dy outside the square root, the equation will be, so from 1 I am writing ds is equal to root of dx by dy bracket square plus 1 into dy. So I have brought dy outside the square root, and therefore length of the curve is equal to integration of ds. But now see the difference. Here I was integrating with respect to x, here I want to integrate it with respect to y, and that is why I will have to put the limits for y. For a, the limit will be c, and for b, it will be d. So the limit should be c to d, and this is equal to integration c to d of root of dx by dy the whole square plus 1 into dy. So this becomes the second formula. Depending upon how the curve is given or which of these two is given, we will have to use the formula accordingly. Now let us go for the second case. The curve is given by parametric equation. Say x is equal to f of t and y is equal to phi of t, and let the length of this curve is required to be obtained between t1 and t2 for the parameter t. t1 and t2 are the values of parameter t. Now what we are going to do is, now we already have obtained the equation for elemental length. ds is equal to root of dx square plus dy square. Now dividing throughout by dt. So dividing this equation throughout by dt, we will get the equation like this: ds by dt is equal to root of dx divided by dt bracket square plus dy divided by dt bracket square, and therefore ds is equal to root of dx square or dx by dt the whole square plus dy by dt the whole square into dt. I have brought this dt to the right hand side, and therefore length of the curve s, which is the length between the two given points, is equal to integration of ds in limits. Now parameter t1 to t2 root of dx by dt bracket square plus dy by dt bracket square into dt. So this formula gives us the length of the given curve, which has got the equation x is equal to f of t, y is equal to phi of t, means it is given in parametric form for the parameter which has the values t1 to t2. The formula is like this. Let us discuss the third case, when the curve is given by polar equation. So polar equation. Now polar equation of this form, r is equal to f of theta. Now let us draw the curve first. Let it be the curve. It is the curve, and the 2 points are, let it be the point A, which is r theta, and this point is B, which is r theta. Now let it be r1 theta 1, this as r2 theta 2, and let the distance or length of the curve AB is to be obtained. Now I am considering a pole, so let it be the pole O. Now I am joining O to A, so this is the position vector r1. I am joining O to B also, let it be the position vector r2. Now I want to get the length of curve AB. In order to get this curve AB, length of the curve AB, I am considering two positions P and Q very close to one another, and let this distance is, or length of the arc between these 2 points is ds. Now in order to get this length, what I am doing is that I am joining the pole to this position, so it becomes the position vector, say r. So it is the position vector r. Now join O to Q also, and let the change in position vector, if it is dr, then it is going to be r plus dr. Now in order to get this length ds, now again my procedure is similar. I will be getting the length PQ first, and then by integrating I can get the length AB. So in order to get PQ, I am drawing a perpendicular through P on OQ, and let this point is n. Now, if this position vector is r and the angle is d theta, then I can write Pn is equal to r into d theta using s is equal to r theta. And therefore, again, if I go use the Pythagoras theorem, OP is r, OQ is r plus dr, which simply indicates that Qn is dr, and therefore ds can be written as root of Pn square plus Qn square. So which is nothing but Pn is r into d theta square plus dr square, because Qn is equal to dr, and therefore this, let it be equation number 1. Multiplying by d theta upon d theta, see, ds is equal to root of, now I am multiplying this term by d theta upon d theta, and out of these two I am keeping the term at numerator outside the square root. So d theta, this numerator term I am writing it over here, and this d theta I am bringing it inside the square root. So it will become d theta square, and it will be r square plus dr by d theta square. So this is ds, let it be equation 2. Now if I multiply the equation 1 by dr upon dr, so multiplying 1 by dr upon dr, the equation will become ds is equal to root of, I am keeping this dr at the numerator outside the square root, and I am bringing it inside the square root. So when I bring it inside the square root, it will become dr square. So the equation will be like this, r square, so this r square divided by dr square into, it will become d theta by dr the whole square, plus dr square by dr square is 1. So this is the first equation. This is the second equation. Now here both the equations are for ds, but if r is changing from r1 to r2, the length of the curve is given as length of curve between a and b is equal to, when I use this formula, I will have to use the limits for theta, and therefore it is equal to integration theta 1 to theta 2 of ds, which is equal to integration theta 1 to theta 2 of root of r square plus dr by d theta square into d theta. So this is the length of the curve. Now also length of the curve AB is equal to, when I go with the limits for r, it will be integration r1 to r2 root of r square into d theta by dr square plus 1 into dr. So this is the first formula, this is the second formula, which can be used to get the length of the curve. So this is how we can get the length of the curve when the curve, its equation is in Cartesian form. Also we have seen the length of the curve when the curve is given either by parametric or in case of polar form also. Let us go through the problem of this type. Now let us solve this problem which was asked in 2018 for MES, it appeared. Now the length of the curve y is equal to 2 by 3, x raised to 3 by 2 between x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1 is, and the 4 options are given. Let us solve this one. So solution. Now y is equal to f of x. It is the equation of the curve, and therefore we will have to get dy by dx. Now dy by dx is equal to, if we differentiate this, it will be 3 by 2 into 2 by 3 into x raised to 3 by 2 minus 1. Is it correct? So it is equal to 2 by 3 and 3 by 2 will get cancelled out, and x raised to 1 half will be the derivative. Now, and therefore length of the curve, length of curve, now we just have seen the equation. Length of the curve is given as integration root of 1 plus dy by dx the whole square. Now here the limits of integrations are going to be x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 1. So 0 to 1 root of 1 plus dy by dx bracket square into dx. So this is equal to, so it is 1 plus dy by dx square. So this is equal to integration 0 to 1 root of 1 plus, now dy by dx, it is x raised to 1 half and square of this into dx. So this will be equal to integration 0 to 1 of root of 1 plus x into dx. Now we know the integration of root of x, it will be x raised to 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2. So its integration can be written as 1 plus x raised to 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2 in limits from 0 to 1. So this is equal to, it will be equal to 2 by 3, because it is at the denominator, so it will be 2 by 3 into 1 plus x. Now when I use the upper limit is 1, so 1 when I substitute it over here, it will be equal to 2 raised to 3 by 2 minus, when I use this limit, it will be 1 raised to 3 by 2, and this is equal to, now 2 by 3. Now again, you don't have the calculator when you are in the exam hall, so you will have to do the calculation orally. It can be done like this: 2 by 3 into 2 raised to 3 by 2 is nothing but, now 2 raised to 3 by 2, I am writing it as 2 raised to 3 bracket raised to 1 half. This is what I can write. So 2 raised to 3 is 8. 8 raised to 1 half means root of 8. So it will be root of 8. This is root 8 minus 1 raised to 3 by 2 is 1. Because 1 raised to anything is again going to be 1. Root of 8 minus 1. Now 2 by 3 is 0.66. So it will be 0.66 into root 8 minus 0.66. Now you don't have the calculator, but you can guess the answer. Root of 8. Now we know the value of root of 9. Root of 9 is 3. So I am just considering this as 3. 3 into 0.66, it will be nearly equal to 1.8 or something. And from that, if you deduct this one, then you will be getting a value which is definitely more than 1. Now the 4 options are 0.27, 0.67 and 1. You can reject all these 3 answers, and the correct answer is going to be 1.22. So this is the correct answer. So this is how you can solve the problems on length of the curve.